including 17 years in the Third German Special Forces in the KSK. H.E.A.T Academy stands for Hostile Environment Awareness Training. This is also what we help our participants to prepare. Not to be a prepper, but be prepared. We want them to be able to do something for themselves, but also for the colleagues, friends, or for the public.
Welcome, dear strategists, and today, welcome, dear Mario Pröhl.
Thank you very much. Good day. Good day.
Good day to you as well. And you are currently not in Germany and basically, very well versed in your English over the last years. Could you please give us a little overview over your background before 2013 and what you have been doing since then?
Yes, I can. I am in Colorado in the US at the moment, and I live here. From 1990 till 2013, I served the German military, including 17 years in the Third German Special Forces in the KSK. 2013, I left the military and founded my first security company, MP Protection. Traveled around the world as a consultant, as trainer, instructor, but also for operational service like protection service or evacuation from crisis areas. Since 2020, I'm also the head of the H.E.A.T Academy, stands for Hostile Environment Awareness Training. With this academy, we prepare non-military personnel for crisis regions. Not for war zones, because then they can serve in the military if they want to, but for living and working in crisis areas. This is mainly our focus with the H.E.A.T Academy.
Yeah, you have.
That's so far.
You have a very wide range of customers in these regards, also being sent to you officially. I mean, I mentioned journalists, but there are also like police officers, humanitarian aiders, and everything. And what we spoke about in the German version already about was, for example, situational awareness as one point. Could you give us a little overview on, what kinds of people usually, for example, visit your German courses and what the main course contents are?
Yeah, the H.E.A.T Academy is based in Germany, but we are not offering the courses in German. Or we do also offer it in German, but mainly in English, because our customers are international staff from different companies. We have also journalists, and most of them are working in areas where they speak English. So therefore, our courses are provided in English as well. But also, we provide the courses in our main base in Moosbach in Baden-Württemberg in Germany, but also with our mobile training team anywhere in the world. So when we go to Africa or other European countries, for example, then we speak English. This is first important thing. The other thing is we have also journalists, lots of journalists, but also NGOs, private owned companies, but also authorities who work for the government, for example. We have, for example, also teachers who are working in German schools in foreign countries or in international schools. We have lots of aid workers who try to help wherever they can. But also we have journalists who make some documentaries or just report about crisis in the world. And I think at the moment we have lots of crisis, means lots of work for the journalists. The difference between the so-called normal participants and journalists are also normal participants, but the focus is completely different. Everything starts with situation awareness, as you mentioned already. When you see a situation and you put this situation um, towards your personal interest to be in this area, then you know what to do. So mainly, we recommend to see the situation and go away, not to escalate the situation. For journalists, they go into the crisis area to see and to report about crisis and escalating situations. So the difference is basically what they are doing with the situation. But everything, as you mentioned already, starts with a situation awareness. So what we are doing in our courses is we focusing on the situation awareness, try to open the eyes when and how to see a situation coming up. We have lots of first aid training. We are not doing the first aid courses during the courses, during the H.E.A.T courses, but we are doing also practical first aid to help people being able to do something, to react somehow. What we don't want is that people are staying under shock and freeze and ask for help. We want them to be able to do something for themselves, but also for the colleagues, friends, or for the public. So first aid is one focus. We have lots of traffic situations with passengers, but also with car accidents or public transportations. We help our participants to prepare the trip with the right paperwork, but also with the right mindset. Because just as a German citizen traveling to a different country doesn't mean we are doing in Germany on the right way. Doesn't mean that in a foreign country is also right to do. One very good example we bring out all the time. So, for example, if you are gay in Germany, you can run with a rainbow flag around across the street, and you are supported and protected, which is fine. If you do the same in Iran, it takes not very long, then you will be hanged on the marketplace. So just to get this understanding, it doesn't mean that we have to accept everything in foreign countries and we have to like everything in foreign countries, but we have to see and recognize that there are different situations. This is for the situation awareness very important. We help our participants to prepare the paperwork, to have the right paperwork, to change the mindset or to have the right mindset, but also equipment wise. We help our participants to focus on what is necessary and what is helpful. In Germany, there's the group of prepper, which sounds always a little bit negative. What they are doing is basically exactly the same what the Ministry for um, disaster response basically recommend to prepare yourself with water, electricity, food, with equipment. Depends on the season, warm clothes, changing clothes, whatever. Um, this is also what we help our participants to prepare, not to be a prepper, but be prepared. Be prepared means also maybe it's helpful to do a survival course. Survival courses are well known, can be done on a light way, but also on a hard way. It's up to the extreme survival situations. So it depends in what stage you find yourself. You can start in a light way, just to stay outside for a couple of days and see the difference between having everything in your house with having nothing outside and getting used to the nature, for example. And in the military, we had this rule of 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food is life risking. So if you have these numbers in your head, then you know how to prepare yourself. You need definitely air. If you stay in a desert area with lots of sandstorm, for example, then you need air protection. You need air filters or whatever. Excuse me.
Bless you.
So if you are in an area where you need more drink, like in a desert, then you need to prepare the drinks. In a snow area, then you can use the snow to melt water. You need to boil the water to cook food. Then you need something with fire or to light up a fire. Changing clothes, building accommodation, preparing your food, and so on. This is what we are doing in our uh, course programs, not only in the heat courses, but also in the safety security course, travel security. And with all this, I just want to mention we are also offering the course Tactical Self Protection already since 2016. Yeah, since 2016 for the medics and rescue workers, including the fire brigade on the street. Because, especially in Germany, they find themselves more and more often in risky situations. They are attacked, not only verbally, but also physically attacked and sometimes killed. So, this is why we are offering these kind of courses with a focus in all courses situation awareness.
If I might make a little practical tip addition to that, basically what I talked in the past when I gave Krav Maga courses, for example, for women, if you are at home, you are in the green, provided you have some regarding security early warning measures and everything. Not gonna go into details here, but the moment you step outside of your house, you are on orange, and that not because we're always anticipating there might be a sniper or there might be someone being trying to harm us or out to harm us, but yeah, there could be just a branch falling down or something like that. So the moment you leave your safe space, you have to be a little bit on guard. And also, especially when it questioning so many serial killers or whatever offenders, they always said, yeah, of course, I'm first checking out who I'm taking as a victim. And if I have a guy coming there who is safe in his posture and is always looking around, of course, I'm going for the guy buried with his face in his phone. And then
Absolutely.
if we go for this traffic light allegation or traffic light comparison, and basically red is the moment of attack. So, as you correctly said, mindset is really a big thing, and I think it's really that, yeah, in the West you're very much being sheltered, and it was a blessing over the last decades that so few things happened, and that, for example, you have people who have never seen blood and everything. But as I covered, especially in a short interview, I hope I will be able to provide in English some time of the year with a regarding person who was giving a speech at Enforce Tech, who's a psychologist. She said there's not much research being done, but there are strong indications that when you, and if it's only a thought experiment, but an exercise is of course way better. If you just immerse yourself into a situation beforehand, it is really likely that you stay able to get into action and maybe even lessen a probability of any trauma in all regards. And
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
and as you rightly say, it is being framed massively, but yeah, being prepared is just a civil, how to say, responsibility to some extent, because we have recently seen it in Berlin, for example. It was just one district or two districts with 45,000 households, but it is the moment you expand that to one state or something like that, the problem is you can't coordinate that well. So having at least some minimal stockpiles and being able to provide some first aid, communicate with each other, and support each other, it is just vital as a society. And to once again repeat Mr. Saurik in our regarding interview, we have to grow closer together as communities again. We have to get away from all this simulation of connection and start to build communities again, I think.
Yes, I agree. But also, we have to go back to the word self responsibility. Everybody has to understand, in my personal opinion, that in the first step, you are responsible for yourself. If you give your life out to the government, then you are lost because the government has a completely different focus, completely different picture, and they have to take over more responsibilities and bigger um, 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 decision makers. So if you blame the government for not having food, then you have done something very, very, very wrong in the beginning. And this is what I mean. Take over your self responsibility, make your own decision, and prepare yourself. It doesn't mean that you are a prepper in the negative way. This is framed, as you mentioned, this is framed quite a lot in a stupid way, in my opinion, in a wrong way, because the government is never ever able to provide everything all the time for everyone. So therefore, we should take over self responsibility and make own decisions to be prepared for something what happened just recently in Berlin. You know, a couple of days without electricity, and nobody is able to do anything for themselves anymore.
Yeah. Responsible and responsibility is, yeah, the best word to describe this all, I think. I thank you very much
Yeah,
for your elaborations and the good work you're doing. I hope we keep up the
thank you very much.
exchange. Take
Thank
care.
you. We will.